Toodles.
Tiddles. Go ahead. What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? I have been, well, it's Easter. So we, Easter weekend was filled with a bunch of Easter egg hunts and visiting family and that typical Easter family stuff.
I did a lot of shoots this weekend. A good day to talk about burnout because I am feeling burnt out, actually.
Yeah. And we're talking about creative burnout because I think you get burnt out of everything if you do it enough. But creative burnout, to me, is when I'm doing something that can be looked at as monotonous. Not saying that I don't enjoy it, but when I do it a lot, it's like anything. If you do it so much, it starts to lose its sizzle. And you have to, like, think about it realistically because it does happen. Like, no matter how much you love doing something, it happens. So with me doing corporate stuff or the shooting a bunch of interviews and then going through the footage and trying to find something, sometimes if you do it every day, all day, it kind of takes the fun out of it. And I think that there's different ways that you can handle that.
How do you handle it?
Me, I try to find an outlet, whether it be doing something that I deem creative in my mind, whether that be doing something with music or shooting on film is something that I use a lot when I need to take a step out of the same routine, and that's one of the reasons why I like it. And sometimes I'm able to, if it's a client that would look good on film, I'm able to like finesse my way into shooting film for the client, making money doing something that's fun to me.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think burnout is just kind of overloading to the point where it makes things not fun and kind of takes away like the motivation to get things done or be a part of things. And I don't really know what I do to fix it, to be honest. I just like force myself, I guess, until it like goes away, until something inspires me. Or I just fully dive into it and won't do anything for a couple days and let myself like restart. But I think it's something that's like inescapable, especially for creatives.
Yeah, it's going to happen whether you like it or not. Even if you landed a job doing your favorite thing every day, all day, there's going to come a point that, and it's not like going to last forever, but you might feel like, oh my gosh, this is how can I complain because I'm doing something that is creative and I'm making money at it. You almost feel guilty for even thinking that, but it really can suck the soul out of you. Especially when your job is to take something that is, let's say if it's a product or video you're making that is semi-boring, like on the outside, on the face of it, and you're like, okay, my job is to make this creative and make this interesting. And that takes a lot of brain power. It takes a lot of thinking and trying things out, and then sometimes it doesn't work. But it's a real thing. It's aggravating.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying is like, I think burnout really crushes your the motivation. And especially like, you keep shooting stuff, so you keep adding, but you're having a hard time getting into it. I'm not really anybody to give anybody advice on it though. A, probably don't handle it in the healthiest way, and B, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I get burnout all the time.
It happens. The hardest thing, well, not the hardest thing to do, but burnout will happen to me when I'm editing. That's usually where it happens. I always have fun shooting stuff unless like there's a reason, I have bad news or I feel bad or whatever, but I'm still going to make it through it. But editing where I'm able to be alone is where it's like, I think like I feel it coming on when I get frustrated with a project because it's not looking up to my standards, or I don't feel like it's creative enough, or if I think that this looks like a PowerPoint presentation when it needs to be something way better than it is. And that sometimes are like a precursor to me getting burnt out. Now, when I do get burnt out, I have to power through it. I just have to. I can't just abandon a project because I got people dependent on it.
Yeah, I mean, I have to. I mean, that's
bills to pay.
There's no not doing it, but sometimes things take me longer than others because I'm in the middle of dealing with burnout, and I just don't know where to start. Or like I said, it kind of stops up the creativity. No inspiration. I think it cuts off inspiration. Yeah, it can be like really discouraging. And sometimes I'll try to do something for fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go to a show that I just want to be at. Sometimes that works, but then all that stuff even has to be edited. So
it just piles on.
Yeah, so sometimes I feel like shooting more stuff, regardless of if it's passion or not. I think sometimes the quickest way I get out of it is when I just sink into it. So I just spend a day not doing a single thing creative. I literally am not the least bit creative at all. Nothing about my day is in any way, shape, or form creative, because at that point I've put too much pressure on my creativity, which then like stops up anything I'm able to do. So I just completely
I think I in some ways get forced to have to not be creative, because like if it's the weekend,
you have scheduled in breaks
that
you don't really have a choice out of being out of, because your responsibility at that time is to watch your kids.
Yeah.
And I don't have, not that that's an excuse, but I don't have that kind of excuse.
Yeah, it's not
where it's I almost would be a justification in your head to not be creative.
Yeah, like
it's not that you're being lazy, you're taking care of your kids.
But there's sometimes that and this is where I feel guilty, and is that in my head when I'm watching the kids, as much as I try not to let this happen, and I love my kids a lot, but I'm like, man, I wish I was at the studio right now finishing up that such and such, because it's a weight that's on me.
It's a bummer that I think it affects it too, that's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And
you're drained?
Yeah. Song of the week?
This is the shittiest episode ever. Don't you use that in the promo either.
Well,
this is the shittiest episode.
We're talking about burnout on a day that we're feeling burnout. This episode is a direct depiction of what burnout is.
This is actual burnout.
I don't feel like chatting.
Yeah.
It's just there's no fault to anybody.
Do you get burnout daily, or does it hit you?
I wouldn't call what happens to me daily burnout. I'm introverted 100%. Yeah. There's no doubt. So being around people drains my energy. I gain energy back by being by myself. And so by the end of the day, my social battery is drained.
Yeah.
But I'm not burnout. Burnout to me is when I just cannot bring myself to get into projects. I feel like burnout, I guess, I relate it mostly to work.
Mm-hmm.
So burnout to me is when I can't work. I just don't have the mental capacity or energy to start anything. Yeah, and there's no I have no inspiration, I have no nothing. That's what burnout feels to me. A drained social battery could happen in a matter of hours, depending on the number of people.
I imagine a bar above your head that it's filled up like a video game.
Oh, I wish there was I wish I had a something that lit
like
up.
A mood ring thing.
Or a pin that could go on my shirt that you could literally physically see my battery draining.
I would love if you had that, honestly.
I think it would help my whole entire life, because people would see, when my little battery went in the red, and be like, leave her be.
Ooh, she needs to recharge. Yeah,
she needs to go home.
Trying to think what else will drain the thing.
If someone sends me, and this is even when I'm alone.
Okay.
If someone's texting me and they send me a bunch of messages one after another before I can even say anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm or if I'm doing something on my phone and I get a bunch of text messages, and they're fine. They're not mean text messages. It's a regular, some people just text that way. And I'll get unbelievably overwhelmed by or people who send a Snapchat, it's a long video, so it breaks it up into multiple Snapchats. I'm doing something on my phone and the snap keeps coming through.
Yeah. Now you gotta watch this movie.
I'm not worried about watching it. I just push them up. But it's the fact that I am still pushing them up, and I'm what the I don't want to see a literal video of your grass growing. What it's all, and it's always, I love my friends who have kids, but it's always a video of their kid doing the most random thing, for a long period of time. And you could have sent me that. You could have sent me a 4-second video of this. I would have got the same idea and wouldn't have to keep watching.
Do you care about videos of people's kids?
What do you mean?
Are you if you could, if you never hurt anybody's feelings if they knew this, but like, do you care to see their kids doing stuff?
Oh no, I mean, it doesn't bother me that they send me videos of their kids. Okay. I'm saying that it's always the people with kids who send me really long videos of their kid doing something very mundane. And I'm like, okay, we could have cut this to one Snap video. That's my complaint. It's not that I'm seeing your kid. I don't care that I'm seeing your kid. That's fine. But we could have cut it down. It's like when I'm getting my phone's like 6. See?
Please tell me that's a video of a kid.
It was a Snapchat. It could have been. Yeah, it's just when I get all these bzz, 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 and I'm like doing something on my phone, even if it's not something important, but I just instantly get overwhelmed about the fact that I received something and like I wasn't doing it like I don't know, watching it right away and responding or whatever. But that will drain my battery too. I'll instantly feel like I have way too much going on, which isn't true, but that's what my brain says.
I'm really not busy.
I'm like, well, my day's shot because I got to watch this video on Snapchat.
That meter is just right before.
Yeah.
Then this could be at like 9 o'clock in the morning before you leave.
Yeah, and then I got to plan my whole evening around when I'm going to watch that video. So better go make dinner now so I can sit down and with my dinner and then watch the video. Song of the week.
Okay, well, my song of the week is on my playlist that gets replayed in my truck when we're driving that you've pointed out because it's so good. It's the Hives, Hate to Say I Told You So. I like it because it's very, okay, the thing about the Hives is that the way that their music sounds is like it's very square. It's very not on the beat. Like the drums are slightly off and it's this jangly sounding guitar. I don't know. It's a combination. If you ever listen to them, that's kind of like their sound. And
square?
Yeah, like I'm describing the way the drummer plays. It's very not like in the groove. It's very like against what else is going on in the song. Anyway, that's Hate to Say I Told You So. It's a great song. It's been around for a long time. Love the Hives. That's my song.
I have been listening to Wyatt Flores released a new song recently called Wish I Could Stay, and I've been listening to it a lot. It is a sad song. It isn't like, I think it's low-key a love song. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't quite decided. I think you can apply it how you want to. I'm not applying it as a love song because that's not my vibe. But I do really like the song. Been listening to it a lot. It's also on my playlist that gets repeated. There you have it, folks. Wish we could stay. But gotta run. Toodles.
Toodles.
Tiddles.
Nobody will know what you're talking about.